Hello, hello, beautiful soul. Let me know if you are tuning in here live or on the replay with me. I would love to know if you're here with me live. And I just hopped off of an interview for a podcast, and she asked me some amazing questions. It was an amazing conversation, and I thought I would just that inspired me to bring it over here over to YouTube and just expand on this a little bit more. So the question she asked me is what's in store for those moving forward in 2025? 'Cause obviously, so many people are feeling this energy right now, especially. This is just, I don't know about you, but if you are resonating with this right now, there is so much creative energy, so much inspiration pouring through, and so much transmuting of any fear based energies, really being called to step fully into your power and your greatness. And this is going to mean different things for different people. But okay, so I don't get too sidetracked. I first wanted to address this question is what is in store for people moving into 2025 and beyond, part of this ascension timeline. So it's important to know that not every soul incarnated here to be part of this ascension timeline. And this is where you hear a lot about Earth shift and, a shift between like new Earth and old world matrix reality. So this obviously is for those that are on the ascension timeline. And if you've landed here, if you're part of my world, if you've landed on this playlist, if this any of my messages resonate with you, then you are on the ascension timeline. And if you've resonated with this particular playlist and video, then you are also feeling called to lead in some way through your unique gifts and really as a way shower for New Earth. So we may touch on that a little bit in this live stream. But I wanted to address what people are going to be going through moving forward. This is across the board happening as a collective and on the world stage, but the message that's coming through is that the masks are coming off, right? The masks are coming off, and you're not going to be able to hide from your shadows. You're not going to be able to hide from where you're being inauthentic, and you're not going to be able to hide from where you are still with, still in division within. So, what does this mean? It means that you're going to be assessing your reality, and places that are out of alignment are going to be mirrored back to you. And the mask is coming off one way or another. So, the mirror is going to be right in your face, right? Reflecting back to you exactly where you're hiding from yourself, where you're hiding from your divine greatness, where you're hiding from your truth, where you're hiding what truly lights you up. So, it's going to be made clear over and over again. Where you're selling yourself short at work, where you're stuck in a career that doesn't light you up, that sucks the energy out of you, where you're in a relationship that isn't honoring your values, where you are compromising your time or your energy or your truth in order to be in a certain social situation or dynamic or community or partnership or tribe. Things are shifting very, very quickly. The energy is very, very potent right now and supporting you in this process. And to the degree that you resist the changes, and to the degree that you hide from what is being shown or try to run from it or try to, ignore it or try to pretend it's not there, the more resistance you will feel. So the image that's coming to mind is kind of like as we're ascending into new earth, it's kind of like that there's a like when an airplane is touching down, you know, there's some bumpiness to it. It's a bumpy ride sometimes, as the airplane starts to touch down on the ground, on the earth, to be fully grounded, right? There's turbulence, and then there's like a little bit of a bumpy ride. And this isn't to instill fear in any way, but that bumpiness, that bumpy ride, like as you're settling in and grounding into this new timeline, to this new frequency, to this new way of being, to this new way of living, may be a bumpy ride for a little bit, because what's happening is on an energetic level. First, your body is updating. You're activating more light codes within, so your more light is being received through your vessel, and so there's that happening, which is going to cause a little bit of turbulence, so to speak. But all of the bumpiness that you're experiencing is required And it basically is a metaphor for all of the resistance that you're still holding on to, where you are resisting your divine greatness. So, the other thing that's been coming through a lot that I wanted to share is that your divine greatness is a decision. And I know I speak about beingness, right? Like you are already the essence of that which of all of creation. You are the divine love, but you're also here to actualize this in your human experience, which means at a certain stage of this journey, so to speak, in order to come into full embodiment and authentic expression with the divinity that is you, you have to choose it on a conscious level, unwaveringly with devotion and commitment. Choose your divine greatness, choose your divine love, choose divine prosperity, choose divine abundance, choose divine health. You choose that by no longer buying into the false narratives that are rooted in untruth. So this isn't about forcing something. This isn't about externalizing this process. It's about checking in with yourself and realizing where you're still lying to yourself and buying into a false truth that's rooted in lack or scarcity or unworthiness or fear. And as you check in with yourself, you're able to unhook yourself from those storylines and those narratives, which naturally ascends you onto your highest timeline, your highest Dharma timeline as a Wayshower, as a light leader, as a walking, talking example of divinity in human form, which is what you're here to do. If you resonate with this and you resonate with being a new earth leader, a divine feminine on this path that is here to anchor in divine love into this 3D reality. So the turbulence or the rocky road that people may experience when I was asked this question on the podcast interview a little bit ago is going to be different for everyone. And it's going to just be simply a mere reflection for you to check in with yourself to see where you are still buying into the old storyline or narrative. Because like I said a little bit ago, the masks are coming off. So what does that mean? It means that you're no longer going to be able to hide from yourself. You're no longer going to be able to lie to yourself. You're no longer going to be able to wear a false mask and call everything good. Spirit divine is asking you to go deeper. And to the degree that you are not willing to do that is to the degree that you will experience more resistance. And at the end of the day, it's all serving you because it's all getting you to reflect and turn inward. So the more tower moments, the more turbulence, so to speak, the more disturbance or the rockier the road, it's really just to get you to turn inward, because it's somehow you are buying into a false truth, a false narrative that somehow you are not worthy, you are not good enough, you are not lovable, or that you have a mindset or a conditioned pattern or belief system that is rooted in lack or scarcity in some way. And this cannot move forward with you into your new, obviously, highest ascension timeline. And so at a certain point, you have to choose your divine prosperity and divine greatness by aligning with the truth of who you are, which means rejecting. And I know this is paradoxical because I speak a lot about accepting your reality as what it is, right? Not resisting reality, which is true. And it's also true that as you accept what is your current reality, that you also see very clearly with true spiritual vision where you are creating your reality that is not in alignment with your highest timeline. So it's about taking self-responsibility for the divine co-creation that's happening here, because the divine is leading you onto your highest timeline. You have a purpose and a mission and something to share with the world, your gift, your message, your sacred medicine in some way. And the divine is asking you to get on board with that. And you can't get on board with that if you're buying into false narratives. So basically, if you're being hooked by the ego into the false reality, into the matrix reality, that's going to be made apparently clear to you. So it's not about resisting your reality. So I want to get clear on this because it's paradoxical. It's not about resisting your current reality. So if you're currently experiencing, let's say, some kind of relationship or business arrangement or career or health situation or something like that that is not serving you, it's not about fighting against that. It's not about resisting that. Like, what resists persists. But it is about clearly checking in with your role in co-creating that and where you are buying in to something other than your divine greatness. It really boils down to your divine, for a decision for you to unwaveringly decide that you are a child of God, that you are an expression of the one, and that anything that is less than that in any way, shape, or form that is rooted in lack, scarcity, or unworthiness, fear, is untrue. And you get to buy into that story for as long as you choose to. And for as long as you choose to, will recreate a mirror outside of yourself to show you where you are still choosing that as a conscious being. As a conscious being, you get to choose your divine prosperity, your divine health, your divine abundance, your divine wealth, your divine greatness. You get to choose it for yourself. I've shared several episodes prior to this on how choosing divine wellness transformed my health. Choosing divine prosperity brought miracles into my life where money popped out of nowhere, right? Like choosing this. And so life has been reflecting back to you this for likely years, if not decades, where the more you align with the truth of who you are and release the need to control the process, the more you align with divine will, and things magically work out and unfold in ways that you never could have figured out on your own. And so I know this message is coming out fast and it's a lot, and I hope it's making sense. I just go with it. But the thing that's coming up is there's a decision, a conscious decision. The power of choosing your divine greatness is required on this journey. This journey is not about being like apathetic and like surrendering all, and just like, like people get a false sense of what it means to fully surrender on this journey. It's not about being complacent. It's not about settling for mediocrity. It's not about settling for less than what you truly deserve. It's actually coming into the knowing of who you truly are, which is a powerful cosmic force in the universe, and recognizing this divine greatness and this magnificence that pulses through your veins. And when you live from this, there is no need to settle. There is no desire to settle. That's not your natural impulse as the divine creatrix of your life. The infinite intelligence and the wisdom and the love and the essence of who you truly are, which is animating your being, this infinite intelligence, this divine expression that you are. It only wants to expand and experience your most authentic expression through you. The same animating presence that animates your being while you're here is the same infinite intelligence and animating presence that grows a flower from a little seed into a fully blossoming flower that grows towards the sun. That flower is seeking its full expression in this lifetime, as are you. And this is a divinely innate part of your creation, of your process of creating. So this isn't about being somebody else or becoming somebody else. You actually drop all the masks and you release the need to you drop all the masks and you release the need to have anything working out for your own personal will, which that's a whole nother process that the ego goes down kicking and screaming. But as you surrender this and you fully align with the divine love that you are, it naturally just wants to express through you. So it's not about becoming someone else or becoming someone new or becoming even a better version of you. It's about stepping into your divine expression as a child of God, as a spark of creation, and expanding into your highest expression, because that's what cosmic force, life force energy does. Is if you've looked around, if you've looked at your reality, it's very obvious that all nature wants to do is grow and expand, and cycles to that, right? There's deaths and rebirths, and then there's a regrowth and a rising and a blossoming, right? And there's cycles to this. But all life wants to do is expand. And if you look around, you can see that there are no, duplicates, right? Life is very unique. It's a very unique expression. You are a very unique expression. Sit with that. There is no other expression that is just like you in the entire multiverse, in all of existence, for all of eternity. There is just this expression that you know to be you right now, but really you are not the you that you think you are. You are the expression of the animating presence that's animating you, that came here to play this beautiful game of experiencing your own divinity, the own magnificence, the divine magnificence that runs through you and it creates through you. That is how unique you are. That is how, I don't want to use the word special because we're all special, but there's a uniqueness to you that is beautiful and unique to your authentic expression that is not like anything else ever, ever. For infinity, for forever, for infinity, there's nothing else expressing through you like you right now, right? There is nothing else. You are this unique expression, and so is everyone else, and so is everything else a unique expression, which makes it special, but not in a sense that it's special above anything else, right? It's not like a pedestal kind of special. It's a celebration kind of special because we are all uniquely special in our own unique individual expression. And so everything is special. Everyone is special. Every experience is special. Every flower is special. Every animal is special. Specialness is not something to be put on a pedestal. So I just want to be clear about that. You are a unique expression, and that makes you and everyone else special. And as you are able to create from that place, you are answering the call of the divine that is calling you forward. The divine is calling you to expand into more. The divine is calling you to claim your divinity. The divine is calling you to claim your greatness. The divine is calling you to claim your abundance. The divine is calling you to claim your prosperity. The divine is calling you to claim divine love. The divine is calling you to claim divine wellness and divine health. And that divine is you. So you are ultimately calling yourself forward because this expression, this animating presence that animates your being is you. And it only wants to expand through you, through the lens, through the flavor, so to speak, of your avatar that you're playing right now, of the the divine expression that you are, that is not duplicated and that only exists right now in this moment. And simultaneously, for eternity, simultaneously. Does that make sense? I know it's paradoxical. Like, you do not go, the true you is here and eternal. Like, it's not this body. You're not this physical animated, you're not this physical being. When the physical bodily death occurs, you will continue on. But you're here having this temporary physical expression. And it's not to play small. It's not to play the game of mediocrity. It's not to buy into lack. It's not to buy into scarcity. Those days are over. Those days served you for a very long time. Whether it's been years or decades, everybody's situations are different. And I know there's different waves of the collective. So depending on where you're at when you tune into this, it doesn't matter. All of the trials and tribulations and the dramas and the traumas and the tower moments and the dark night of the soul and all of that has served your highest and greatest good for you to come home to yourself. Those days, though, are numbered. The days of you playing small are numbered. The days of you hiding from your truth are numbered. The days of you hiding behind a mask are numbered. The days of you not being honest and truthful with yourself of what is really resonant with your heart are numbered. The days of you giving your power away are numbered. The days of you settling for unfulfilling relationships are numbered. The days of you doing work that doesn't fulfill you are numbered. All of it is numbered. The mask is coming off. And so to the degree that you resist this is to the degree that you will experience more of the bumpy road, as the metaphor goes, with the plane that's landing down and touching down. You are touching into new earth. You are touching into a higher timeline. You're already on this timeline. That's how you know. That's how you know you were already on this timeline, because you are hitting the bumpy road. The bumpy road that is ruffling your feathers right now and getting you to look at yourself like a mirror that won't go away, that is reflecting back where you are lying to yourself or stuck in falsehood or untruths or fear, lack, or scarcity. Like, the reason you're hitting that bumpy road is because you are landing into a whole new timeline. You've already ascended into this timeline. And those are just some of the kinks that need to be worked out. And it's a temporary phase of this journey. It's not forever. It's something that you're going to experience because you are already ascended into this timeline. New Earth is here now. And if you're resonating with this, you're already living in it. And to the degree that you fall back into the mental fear or the emotional fear or the stories and narratives or lack of scarcity is to the degree that you're going to be hit with the resistance and hit with the bumpy road, right? You already know you've ascended into this timeline. How do you know? Not only by just what I just shared, but everything else from your old way of being is no longer working for you. Have you noticed that your old ways of manifesting aren't working, that your old ways of goal setting aren't working, that your old ways of just being resilient aren't working, that your old ways of being resourceful aren't working? Like, these are all things you've cultivated over the course of your journey, which are serving you now. Your ability to be resilient, your ability to be resourceful, your ability to go through the dark times and walk through the shadows, because you are a way shower, because you are a light leader, because you are here to help illuminate for others that are still stuck in the darkness, which has served you because now you're going to be able to serve from a higher level with compassion and empathy because you've been there, done that. But all of your old ways of being are no longer working for you. You're no longer being able to rely on just logical linear thinking. For example, you're being forced to surrender to the unknown and trust with unwavering faith and conviction that you are divinely guided. And trust is a big key word here. Trust in thyself and trust in the divine orchestration of your life. Trust in the divinity within you, right? So your trust in God and trust in yourself are two sides of the same coin. You are an expression of God, you are a child of God, and these go hand in hand. And so trust is a big factor. And so that's how you have already ascended. If you're listening to this, I know who this message is for. It's not meant for everyone, but if you've landed here, my whole channel is not meant for everyone. If you've landed here in my world, it's because you are on the ascension timeline. And to the degree that you are still divided within is to the degree that you will suffer on this journey, unfortunately and fortunately, because you have to sometimes go to the depths of your own despair. And that's what Dark Night of the Soul does. And that's what the Tower Moments do. You have to be able to claim this for yourself. No one else can give this to you. I can't give it to you. This is something that can only be realized as a relationship, not a relationship. Well, I mean, okay, so I'm using words here, so they're already rooted in duality. The relationship between you and you, the relationship between you and the divinity within you. If there is a relationship, it's a relationship between you and you, which really isn't a relationship. It's a union that already was and is and ever will be. You've never not been this divinity, and that's what you are coming home to. Does that make sense? Even the word union is misleading because it implies two things coming together and coming into union. You've never been separate from the truth of who you are. You already are union. You can't come into union because you already are union within. Separation is the ultimate illusion that puts the veil around our eyes and it causes us to believe that we are separate, but that is not the truth. You are already union. You are already one with all that is. You've just been believing and wearing these glasses, these foggy glasses that veil your vision, your true vision of who you truly are. And that veil is called separation consciousness. It's called rooted in duality and rooted in fear. And it's fogging up your glasses and it's making you see distortion outside in the 3D world. So this is not to say that we don't exist in what appears to be this 3D world. This is not about denying our 3D experience or denying our humanity. We are human and fully divine simultaneously, and that's what this embodiment process is about. It's about fully anchoring into this and living, walking, and talking, and being the divinity that you are in human form. This is the ultimate journey. And why? So we can anchor in love into this 3D reality and pave new earth brick by brick by truth, rooted in love and compassion, unity, and oneness, which means any part of your reality that's been built out of fear, scarcity, lack, or unworthiness is going to crumble like a house of cards that it is, because it's been rooted in in fear. It's been rooted in a lie. And this is happening on the world stage as well. So I'm going to circle back to how I originally opened. The world stage is also revealing the truth. Shadows are going to be rising to the surface. It already is. People are no longer going to be able to hide. Humanity in general is not going to be able to brush things under the rug anymore. And this is especially true if you are leading this new earth paradigm shift, which you are if you are resonating with this. You're not going to be able to brush things under the rug anymore or look the other way. You're going to have to get really honest and truthful with yourself about where you are lying or buying into falsehood. And as you do that and you look it square in the face, the fear, the unworthiness, the scarcity, the lack, and you look fear right in the face and you realize your truth and come home to yourself, the fear dissolves. This has happened over and over again in my own experience over here. And sometimes you have to go to the root of it. And sometimes, well, you always have to go to the root of it, but sometimes you have to go to the depths of your own despair, because on a soul level, you need to claim this for yourself and no one else can do it. And sometimes you have to really get into it in order to claim this for yourself. And I'm not saying that's the way it has to be. I'm not saying the way it should be. I'm not speaking in any absolutes. I'm not saying that's everybody's experience. But it's kind of like when you think of someone having a rock bottom moment, the reason they're able to fully bounce back from that and heal themselves or no longer be an alcoholic or break free from addiction or break free from a lot of things is because they hit their rock bottom moment. And so many of you may be feeling that you're having a rock bottom moment. And that's the reason I'm sharing this right now. And that rock bottom moment is divinely guided to lead you back home to who you truly are, because on a certain level, you have to choose this, a conscious choice, and claim your resurrection, claim your rebirth, claim your power, and not only claim it, but embody it, live it, breathe it unwaveringly with devotion and conviction that you are a divine, worthy being and child of God. And anything that stands in your way or is reflecting back to you anything but that truth is a lie. Is a lie. It's an untruth. It's a falsehood that you cannot build on anymore. And it's being reflected back to you because God loves you so much and your mission is so strong that you are here to lead through love and compassion and lead by embodying your own divinity. So there is no room for playing small. There is no room for mediocrity. There is no room for hiding from your gifts. There is no room for ignoring your passions. There is no room for looking the other way and painting red flags green or accepting things that are not acceptable for you or not speaking your truth when really you are people pleasing and you really do want to share or speak your truth, but you're not because you're hiding in fear. Like all of this wounded feminine energy that keeps so many divine feminines hooked into cycles because they're giving their power away. They're people pleasing. They're operating from fear-based consciousness or victim consciousness and things like that. Like all of that is being reflected back. There is no more room for any of that. And it's all going to be a mirror right in your face moving forward. It's time. So there is like decades ago, there was a lot more room to play in that energy of fear, lack, scarcity, or unwellness, or lack of abundance, and all of this. And that was all divinely guided too. So your soul could play in this energy and you could come through this, your own hero's journey, wiser, stronger, more resilient, bearing, like carrying the torch for others moving forward and being the illumination for others moving forward. That's part of your journey as a way shower. All of that was serving you. And there was a lot of room to play with that energy. And we did. And everybody's journey is different. Everybody's timeline is a little different, but there are waves of this timeline. And the wave that I'm speaking to right now, if you're resonating with this, it's time. Like the window period to play with that within that energy and get away with any of it in any way, shape, or form. Like is like zero. It's all collapsing right now. You're collapsing onto your highest timeline, which means you are not able, God will not allow you, the divine essence of that which you are will no longer allow you to play or hide in mediocrity or lack or scarcity or fear or unworthiness. The window of playing in that game in order to evolve and expand and move into a higher in order to evolve and ascend, that window is shut. You're here. New Earth is here now, and it lives through you, through your own embodiment, through you connecting with the divine love that you are, through your own truth and expression. And there's like zero room to play small anymore. That's the message that's coming through. You have to choose your divine greatness now. Like, to the degree that you don't, and I'm not doing this to project fear, it's all divinely guided. I am so grateful for every single experience I've had over the last 15 years on this journey that have taken me to my knees and caused, my coming to Jesus moments and my dark nights of the soul and my healing journey and all of it, which I will go more into later, my own story on different episodes here and there. But long story short, for this particular episode, like, all of that was serving me, and I'm so grateful for all of it. And of course, this is only in hindsight, looking back when you're going through it. It's not as easy to do, but that's part of this process, is to be able to be the chaos in the middle of, or not the chaos, the eye of the storm, right? Where you are in the midst of the turbulence, and you are able to come home to yourself and be at peace and know that everything is working out for you and that you are being divinely guided and that you can fully trust and surrender to a higher power that created you and that is you, that you are one with. And it's oftentimes having to be taken to that rock bottom moment where you feel like you have no other choice but to surrender, that you are divinely guided to. And that's so you can fully claim this for yourself. That's so you can fully claim this for yourself, because no one else can do this for you. So if you want to take the most empowered, most embodied position through this turbulent phase of coming in and landing into New Earth, it is to fully claim your co-creative process and to know that even if you're finding yourself coming in rocky moments or a rock bottom moment or something similar like tower moment or dark night of the soul, or you're coming out of that, is to be able to fully claim your divinity in the midst of this. That's the gateway. That's the doorway out. That's like the doorway to your highest timeline, is for you to be able to claim, even when it's not looking the way you think it should look, or even if it's not panning out the way you think it should look, or whatever's happening in the 3D experience is causing you to go inward. And that is the doorway to your highest timeline. That is the doorway to the truth of who you are. That is the doorway to your expansion and your ascension. And it's only in the present moment. So it means getting hooked in the storylines and narratives of the fear and the lack and the scarcity are no longer something that you have the privilege of buying into. It was fun for a time. Maybe it wasn't so fun for a time, but you got to play in that, and that time is over. This is the time to fully claim your greatness and stop messing around. So, I'm just talking straight with you guys because that's where we're at right now. And the energies are super, super potent right now to support you in this. And it's kind of like the more you look away or avoid certain circumstances or situations in your life, the more power you give them. And so if you feel like your back is against the wall, if you feel like you're between a rock and the hard place, if you feel like there's no way out of certain circumstances, just know that you are divinely guided to be there. Like, it's not an accident. And this has come up, this message is coming up because it's been a theme over the last 15 years that I always have to remind myself of sometimes. And it's coming up right now, so I'll share it. It's pay attention to when God places you in a situation of which you cannot escape. I'm getting full body chills right now. Pay attention. I'm going to repeat it. Situations or circumstances that God has placed you in where you feel as if you cannot escape. Because that is a clear-cut sign that something is being reflected back to you that is ready to be purified and alchemized. God will put you in situations, the divine, the oneness that you are. I know I'm speaking this very paradoxical. I get it. I'm not speaking to an outside source, but there's also, a creator that created, I am one with the creator, and also I didn't create myself. So there's a big magical, unknowable mystery happening here. But regardless, when you are placed in situations that of which you cannot escape, it is the divine reflecting back to your mirror that allows you to purify something profound in your journey that will shift your trajectory tremendously. And that's why you're put in situations that is not easy for you to escape from. And that is why sometimes you feel like your back is against the wall, or that there's no way out, or that, you know, you're stuck between a rock and a hard place. Because you're being guided to alchemize and purify whatever that is that's keeping you stuck in fear-based programming. So I hope this message is resonating. And I want to say a word. I always like to end on a word. I'm also going to be posting that podcast interview that I just hopped off of because it was super powerful and potent. I'll post that to the channel once it's published live. But the word today is divine greatness. I know that's 2 words, but that's really the message that's coming through. Divine greatness. Anything that is, it is time to choose that for yourself, and anything that is rooted in anything other than that is a lie. And it's time to put your unwavering conviction and devotion into knowing who you truly are. That is what's being asked for so many of us right now as we step into this whole new timeline. And any bumpiness along the way is just a mirror reflecting back any little kinks that need to be worked out in our embodiment, or in our energy field, or in our belief system, of where we are still allowing ourselves and basically choosing to buy into a false narrative. Choose your divine greatness. Choose your divine prosperity. Choose your divine health, your wellness, your abundance, your divine love that you are. You are the infinite stream of abundance. You are the source of all that you seek. You have to be able to choose that for yourself, though, with conviction, and know it in your bones and in your core and in your cells. This isn't a conceptual understanding. It's a full embodiment of your greatness. And that's what God is asking for so many right now, is saying, hey, what else could you be? Like, does it make any sense that you are not this divine, magical being? Like, claim your magnificence. You are a unique expression of the one. It makes zero sense to think anything other than that. So I hope this finds you well. The words are divine greatness in the chat if you're watching this live or on the replay with me, to claim this for yourself. And when you take that action with pure intention that you are here to claim your divine greatness in this lifetime, I'm getting full body chills right now. There is no subtle intention that goes unmissed. God is always listening. There is no subtle prayer, no subtle intent. Like, I'm sure you've probably experienced this, where the most subtlest of intentions like manifest into your reality, and you're like, wow, you know what I mean? Like, there is nothing missed, not an iota, and I just, not even a millisecond, nothing. Like, everything is noticed. So when you plant your intention with pure intention coming from the heart to claim your divine greatness by taking action and claiming it for yourself, like dropping it in the chat, know that you are being guided and that you are being protected, and that there may be things that come up for you to look at, but that is the power within you, has the power to alchemize all of that. And that's part of this process, is turning over the heavy lifting to your divine greatness, the divine greatness that is you. It's not something the little self has to figure out and take on this burden and carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. This is about tapping into something much, much deeper, much more eternal, much more timeless, infinite, that is always here for you. And as you do, you will see that things get a lot easier, even in the midst of things not looking or appearing as if they are working out, which is also divinely guided. So, friends, souls, beautiful souls, This is the message that wanted to come through. So I hope this finds you well. And until next time, namaste.